Top countries with the safest banks. Offshore banks can offer great benefits from low taxes, high interest rates to asset protection. However, one of the biggest concerns for those considering an offshore account is how safe their money will be. Germany. Banks from Germany hold the first, third, fourth, and seventh place in the global finance list. Nomad capitalist cites that one of the reasons German banks are trusted is because of Germany's strong economy. German bank accounts are generally ideal for retail and business accounts. The country takes its banking seriously, paying particular attention to limiting capital controls. One of the ways in which they have done this is by persuading the European Union to issue a €500 banknote so that the money can be kept more easily at home. While it is one of the most secure offshore banks, one of the disadvantages to an offshore account in Germany is that foreign accounts usually have low interest rates. The accounts offer few options for currency diversification. Switzerland. A Swiss bank holds the second place on global finances list. Switzerland is a popular destination for offshore banking, and has a long-standing reputation as one of the top secret banking countries. Investopedia cites some of its other draws as including low levels of financial risk in a country that is both politically and economically stable. Banks in Switzerland are required to have strong depositor protection and high capital requirements, protecting them in financial crises. Accounts in Switzerland have low taxes, assuming the money is not coming from a Swiss banking source, and minimum balances range from a few $1,000s to millions of dollars, depending on the bank. Some of the downsides to opening a Swiss bank account is the level of scrutiny over the initial documentation. Switzerland takes money regulation seriously, and requires extensive proof of their client's identity and source of funds. Netherlands. The Netherlands hold slots 5 and 6 on global finances list. The Netherlands have a highly developed banking system, per banks in the Netherlands. The country's capital, Amsterdam, is known as one of the largest financial centers in the world. Their banking system offers commercial, mortgage, savings, and other accounts. The country has a long-standing reputation for protecting the privacy of their account holders. Nomad Capitalist also adds that accounts are protected by bank deposit insurance up to €100,000. Luxembourg. A bank from Luxembourg comes in at 8th on global finances list. Expat.com explains that it is home to both private banks and big banking groups, which is in large part due to its strong economy. The country has attracted many foreign investors over the years. In addition to bank accounts, non-residents are eligible for the local VPay credit card, as well as possibly other credit cards depending on the source of their income. One of the downsides to this safe offshore banking country is that it can be difficult for Americans to get accounts here, and few banks offer the option. Canada. A Canadian bank holds slot 10 in global finances list. Getting a Canadian bank account is usually just as easy as getting a bank account in the US, since the US and Canada have close ties. Canadian banks are some of the safest in the world and usually accept and clear US checks without charging extra fees. Many Canadian banks offer better interest rates than US banks, and you can save money in the favorable exchange rate between US and Canadian dollars. Canada is not known as a tax haven. Plus, opening an account here requires a personal visit to the bank. Singapore. Banks from Singapore make the list 3 times, first showing up in the 12th ranking. Opening a bank account in Singapore is relatively easy, especially if you have at least $200,000 or more to invest. Most overseas banking in Singapore can be done without ever going to the country itself. The country is stable economically and politically, with over 30 years of global banking experience. Singapore bank accounts can trade and invest in multiple currencies. Singapore isn't the best option for those with less than $200,000 to invest, however. Sweden enters global finances list with a bank ranked at number 13. As well as other Scandinavian countries, is a solid offshore banking choice. Sweden has financial stability and independence, with its currency remaining strong despite an ongoing European financial crisis. Swedish banks generally have good interest rates, low fees in comparison to other offshore jurisdictions, deposit insurance, and reputable jurisdictions. Banking staff are forbidden to disclose any information on foreign accounts unless compelled by the law. Minimum deposits for opening an account is usually between $150,000 and $180,000, but may be negotiable. Australia enters the global finance list holding the ranking of 21. Foreign account holders in Australia can open transaction or savings accounts, as well as term deposits. Many accounts can be opened online or over the phone. It is a country that has had steady economic growth throughout its history, and is a sophisticated financial services center. Australian bank accounts can be hard to acquire for those with no plans to live in, work in, or visit Australia, however. The best chance of getting an Australian account then lies in contacting a local bank that has international ties with Australia. Hong Kong doesn't enter global finances list until number 31. Investopedia explains that Hong Kong is a popular offshore banking destination because it is a tax haven. As one of the leading financial capitals in the world, they do not tax income earned beyond their borders, capital gains, interest, or dividends. Hong Kong has a commitment to privacy, gaining a 72 from the Financial Secrecy Index. The country is also home to the second largest stock exchange in Asia, if offshore bankers are interested in investing as well. Because Hong Kong has strict anti-money laundering rules, the first account in Hong Kong usually must be opened in person. After that, future accounts can be opened strictly online.